Have you ever wondered why dinosaurs were so enormous compared to modern-day animals? What factors contributed to their enormous size? How did they become the colossal giants of prehistoric times? Let's get into those prehistoric giants and uncover the incredible reasons behind their staggering proportions. Among all the dinosaur species, the sauropods, a group of long-necked herbivores, reached the greatest sizes. The largest known dinosaur, Argentinosaurus, measured up to 100 feet, or 30 meters, in length, and weighed around 75 tons. Other colossal sauropods include Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus. These giants roamed the Earth during the late Jurassic and early Cretaceous periods. The primary reason for getting big is the need to stay warm. When an animal grows bigger, it becomes heavier at a much faster rate compared to the growth of its body's surface. And since you cool down through your body surface, larger animals had to eat less food than smaller animals to maintain a consistent body temperature. Relatively, of course. So adult sauropods, the largest land animals ever, had to eat relatively little to sustain their temperature despite their enormous size. They consumed approximately 1,000 to 2,000 pounds, or 500 to 1,000 kilograms of green fodder per day. Their long necks enabled them to reach and consume vegetation at various heights, allowing them to eat vast quantities of food with minimal effort. The neck also prevented wastage of energy on chewing, as digestion mainly occurred in the stomach. So the long-necked dinosaurs were basically just, quote, walking trash containers. The unique adaptation of long necks distinguished sauropods from other herbivores and enabled them to be significantly larger. To balance their weight, their tails also had to grow in size. Comparatively, the modern giraffe shares some similarities but possesses only 7 cervical vertebrae, like most mammals, including humans. The fixed number of cervical vertebrae in mammals is a genetic limitation deeply ingrained into their DNA and affects various developmental aspects. However, dinosaurs did not face such restrictions, and some sauropods had as many as 19 cervical vertebrae. This ability to have an extended neck beyond what is possible for modern mammals made sauropods distinctively different from giraffes and other animals. It's fascinating to learn how sauropod babies, with their tiny cervical vertebrae, would lay in a nest containing about 20 to 30 round eggs at a time. Surprisingly, these eggs weren't as large as one might expect, only about the size of a grapefruit. Even more surprising is the fact that once they were hatched, the sauropods weighed less than a human baby, only about 2 pounds, or 1 kilogram. Now you might wonder how these massive creatures could hatch their eggs without crushing them. Well, adult sauropods were so heavy that they couldn't sit or lie down, let alone sit on their eggs. If they did, it would have been almost impossible for them to get up due to their immense weight. In fact, they often slept while standing up. So how did they manage to hatch their eggs? These long-necked dinosaurs had some clever tricks up their sleeves. The mother sauropod would place leaves and plants on the nest using her mouth. As the plant waste decomposed, it released heat, providing warmth to the eggs. Another tactic they employed was laying the eggs in warm volcanic soil, creating a favorable environment for incubation. Interestingly, the survival strategy of sauropods is somewhat similar to that of sea turtles. We actually see a lot more of the dinosaur traits in animals today, but we'll save that for later videos. Make sure you click the subscribe button below to stay updated. The tactics employed by mammals such as elephants are quite different. An elephant calf weighs between 200 and 260 pounds, or 90 and 120 kilograms, and the pregnancy lasts a staggering 22 months. If a calf falls into the jaws of a predator, it takes the mother 3 or 4 years to give birth to another calf. Being pregnant is a significant investment for mammals. The mother's movement slows down due to the added weight, and complications during birth can have fatal consequences. These factors impose limits on how large a mammal's baby can be, which is why mammals generally stay relatively smaller in size compared to sauropods. In Patagonia, the southern end of South America, there were not only enormous herbivores, but also giant carnivores like the Giganotosaurus. This massive predator, weighing 8 tons and measuring 50 feet or 15 meters long, resembled an extra-large T-Rex. It had powerful hind legs, small arms, and a large mouth filled with sharp teeth. These carnivores hunted in groups and targeted young dinosaurs as their prey. As the carnivores grew larger, they left the large herbivores alone, considering them too dangerous to attack. It was risky for even the strongest fighters to face such colossal creatures, as getting hit by an animal weighing as much as an airplane would have dire consequences. The extreme dimensions of the dinosaurs were a result of an ongoing competition between the herbivores and the carnivores. Being bigger provided a sense of security for the herbivores, so they continued to grow in size. The survival of the largest herbivores ensured that their characteristics were passed on to the next generation, leading to the overall increase in dinosaur sizes. Now the question arises, can a similar competition occur among mammals? Under the right circumstances, mammals can indeed grow significantly larger. We could think of examples like the mammoth, the saber-toothed tiger, or the primal rhinoceros. A mammoth, for instance, could weigh a staggering 13,000 to 18,000 pounds, or 6,000 to 8,000 kilograms. However, mammals never reached the extraordinary sizes seen in long-necked dinosaurs. There are limitations due to the number of cervical vertebrae and the reproductive process of mammals. Additionally, the energy required for a large mammal to chew and digest enough food is substantial. If there's a decrease in available food due to factors such as climate change, the largest mammals are the most vulnerable and they will likely face extinction. Do you know what happened to the large sauropods with the devastating asteroid impact? They disappeared along with dinosaurs 66 million years ago. But here's an interesting question. Could they have grown even bigger if they had survived? Or had they already reached their maximum size? Well, there are a few factors to consider. One of the main issues is the relationship between size and surface area. Imagine a beast that is 8 times as heavy as another. Surprisingly, it only has 4 times as much surface area. Now, if the legs of this large beast were 4 times larger, they would suddenly have to carry twice as much weight. Bones are incredible structures that can withstand a lot, but they do have their limits. At a certain point, they simply can't handle the strain and would snap. This means that even the largest sauropods probably reached a limit in terms of size. They couldn't grow any bigger because their bones wouldn't be able to support the increased weight. Now let's talk about the bones of dinosaurs in general. They were specially adapted to their weight. For instance, many species, including the T-Rex, had hollow bones. Interestingly, you can still see this feature in birds today, which are descended from dinosaurs. It's like the trick used in the tubes of a bicycle frame. A thin and massive frame can bend easily, but if you introduce a hollow middle, the frame suddenly becomes sturdier. Sauropods had bones with a honeycomb-like structure and cavities. While mammals also have cavities in their bones, the ones in dinosaurs and birds are much larger, and the bone walls are thinner. This design helped keep their bones lightweight without sacrificing too much strength. Did you know that large dinosaurs had a neat trick up their sleeves? Well, actually it was in their limbs and bones. These mighty creatures, just like birds, had special air sacs in their limbs and skeleton. These air sacs helped them distribute oxygen throughout their massive bodies. You see, if they relied only on their lungs, it would require a tremendous amount of effort to deliver oxygen to all parts of their body, especially the extremities. But thanks to these air sacs, dinosaurs were able to inhale a whole lot more air with each breath compared to mammals. This allowed them to receive enough oxygen to keep their gigantic bodies functioning properly. Interestingly, the extra air they took in also helped cool their bodies. If a mammal of the same size were to rely solely on its lungs, it would likely run out of air and overheat much more easily. To wrap up, the gigantic proportions of dinosaurs, particularly the long-necked sauropods, can be attributed to a combination of factors. Their large size was primarily driven by the need to maintain a consistent body temperature, along with the competition between herbivores and carnivores. But it took all sorts of clever evolutionary tricks to sustain this size. Only with hollow bones, an extra set of lungs, and full nests did the largest animals on Earth survive. While the exact maximum size potential of these dinosaurs remains unknown, it's likely they reached a limit dictated by their bone structure and physiological constraints. The extinction of dinosaurs, including the large sauropods, ended their reign, leaving behind a fascinating legacy of immense size and remarkable adaptations. We hoped you enjoyed uncovering the incredible reasons behind the staggering proportions of prehistoric giants. Subscribe if you did, and we'll see you in the next video.